Welcome back to TME, guys, and I'm going to show you what I got going on right here right now. I'm currently in St. Augustine, Florida, and I'm about to melt out here. It is freaking hot out here. I mean, it's got to be 100 degrees outside. So these are reels, fiber optic cable reels. So they're going back to the distributor. And they have like a core charge or something where when they purchase the cable, they have to pay for the reels. It's like a deposit. And then upon returning the empty reels, they'll get their deposit for them back. So that's what I'm working on right now, getting these people's reels turned back in. Never hauled these before. As you can see, I'm kind of using the same sort of strategy that I would normally use with pallets. They set an item down on the trailer and they set it right over top of that tire. I'm doing that crisscross method I showed you guys in my last video, clustered trucked. So that's what I got going on. I'm glad I came over here and looked at this because I noticed my edge protector is kind of not positioned right. So I'm gonna try to fix this. Trying to hurry up, but also trying not to pass out at the same time. When it gets this hot outside, I'll be honest with you, I start moving like a snail. Try to stay productive, but I don't want to push myself too hard, you know. So this edge protector right here is kind of jacked up. So I'm gonna turn it this way. There, that'll work. Like I said, I'm in St. Augustine. I gotta take these up to Georgia. I'll show you where the city is when I get ready to leave. Okay, I'm noticing that as I tighten these down, they're starting to shift ever so slightly. But I got this one at a good tension. I like where it is, so I'm gonna leave it. Because this trailer only has 10 straps on it, I'm having to use one portable right here to do this. So the best way to stow your excess strappage on a portable strap is to kind of roll it up like this, you see. And then if you notice, you've got this little gap right here. You can put it like this. Okay, all right. Let's try it again. Okay, that feels pretty good to me. What do you think? Not too shabby. Okay, tighten this one down. And then after I tighten this one down, I got 2 more to run same kind of way, crisscross. Did the same thing in the very front. I'm gonna show you how I do it in just a minute. Okay guys, whew. I apologize for the hard breathing. I know it's uncomfortable to listen to, but oh, this is strenuous to do in the heat. Trust me, it's not fun. Now I've got a little, whatever the hell that is, a 1x4, 2x4, I don't really know. I think it might just be a 1x4. Piece of dunnage right here to act kind of like as a brake for it. That thing I'm gonna have to watch. I'm gonna have to be real careful. And make sure that when I tighten this thing down, it puts enough tension or enough pressure on this piece of wood to hold it down to the trailer. If it doesn't, then I might have to use my other portable strap to strap the dunnage down. It might be a possibility, because the thing is, if these things start shifting and for some reason they roll forward, they shift forward just a little bit, it's going to take all the tension off of this piece of wood, and then it's going to fly off the trailer while I'm moving down the highway, and I don't want that to happen. So yeah, there's that. I got enough pulled off now, so I'm going to use this V-board to help guide it through and across. I'm going to run it on the front side right there the rest of the way through. It's about to fall off, but I'm gonna try to make sure that I keep it in that front section all the way across. Bad thing is they're not exactly in alignment. Like all of them, they're not all aligned. Now that I got it over here, pull enough slack through to get it where I want it to be. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my V-board. Place my edge protector, put some tension in it, set it down, and I'm going to take the slack out of it, but I'm not going to tighten it up. Before I do roll it up though, I'm going to take it off and run it through here. That. So now I got the tension out of it and it's good to go. Do the same thing on the front side, or with the front strap on the back side. It's so hot, guys. I feel like I'm gonna pass out. Getting like chills. It's so hot. Okay. Good thing about it is these things are empty, so they don't weigh that much. If they actually had cable on them, you would need chains to secure this stuff, but well, I just noticed I got a damn tear in my strap. That means I'm gonna have to use my other portable strap. I'm gonna have to use it. I don't have any replacement straps on me, unfortunately. I'm headed up to Georgia again. This is called To, Georgia. I'd never heard of it before, but it's actually it's east of Milledgeville, if you know where that is. Milledgeville is east of Macon, but it's kind of at the same latitude as Macon. It's a little bit further north than Macon, actually, because I mean, I know you guys can't see this, but Macon's right here where this red dot is, and Milledgeville's up here. Well, To is over here. Closest main highway would be Georgia 540. As far as parking goes, I don't really know. I can't deliver it until tomorrow morning, so I'm gonna have to find somewhere to stop tonight, take my break somewhere out in the boonies, I guess. But yeah, right now I'm just trying to cool off. I just got really hot. I started getting chills really bad from sweating so much, so I decided that I need to cool off before I try to move further. This stuff, that round edge, I'm just basically pushing it down up against my my deck, and so, you know, I'm gonna have to be extremely careful hauling this stuff. It's not heavy. Each one of these reels, he just told me they weigh about 100 pounds each, so it's not heavy at all, but it's so big and awkward, and it could possibly flex, you know, or something like that. And the bad thing about it is they're so wide that the outside sections, I'll show you when I get out there, but the outside sections of the reels are actually making contact with the aluminum part of my deck. So that means that there's less friction on the outside. And what I'm concerned about is something shifting, because it is so high up. I'm kind of concerned about having something shift on me and then possibly having it, you know, come off the edge of my trailer. So I got to be real careful about that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get back to work. I'm almost done. I just need to hurry up and get it over with. This strap right here, this strap's no good, and I don't have one to replace it with. I'm gonna leave it on there, but I'm gonna run that portable strap over top of it just as an extra measure, you know. I'm gonna have to hold off on doing that though, since I already got my ladder over here. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. It's so close. See, all I'm doing right now is making myself get overheated again by doing this. There we go. You guys tell how out of shape I am? I've been doing those Scott loads for the past 6 months. Those loads are easy. I'm really out of practice. Way out of practice at this point. Oh my God, okay. Whatever I can do to try to keep this thing in place while I'm driving down the road. And I think it's gonna work better if I keep the strap where it is right now, because it's putting more down pressure on the wood. You know what I'm saying? I can't even talk, you guys. I'm got like heat exhaustion going on. It is hot in Florida. The guy that loaded me, he said it hasn't rained in weeks here. So it's not even that it's that humid outside, it's just freaking hot. Really hot. It's like a dry heat, which is actually kind of rare for Florida if you think about it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put this last strap through here. Now I was hoping that I could use this strap to kind of secure this dunnage right here, but now I need it to actually secure the reel. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna have to keep my eyes on it. Don't forget about this. And as I start putting a lot of tension on it, it's probably going to start shifting just a little bit, but that's all right. Now I'm gonna start pulling on this one. Okay, now I'm gonna attempt to do the same thing with the portable strap. Now you notice this thing's loose. Even though I already put tension on this shit, this thing's still loose, so that's not good. But I don't have anything left to secure this piece of dunnage. I don't have any more straps left. This is every strap I have, including my portable strap, so I don't know. just stop periodically. It's wedged in there pretty good, so I'll keep an eye on it by stopping and checking it periodically, you know. I gotta get a move on though. I've been here for too long. That's as good as she's gonna get right there. Let me know what you think, guys. All right, guys, like I said, we're gonna roll through Jacksonville real quick. As we do, I'd like to give you an update on me, my situation. I am, up to this point, as of this date, I'm pretty much back out here like I told you guys was gonna happen. The Scott's loads, they have pretty much halted to a complete dead stop. From what I understand, I'll be rolling through there from time to time to make some deliveries, you know, delivering mulch and stuff. But I'm not going to be doing it every day anymore, and I'm not going to be, you know, getting to go home at the end of my shift. I'm pretty much back out here again at this point. And other than that, I just recently went again last week. I got another follow-up test for the SAP program, and I'm not sure how many that is. That's probably either my 9th or 10th follow-up drug screen that I've had to take since I came back to work. So all that stuff went well. And other than that, I haven't been making a lot of videos on this channel, and I told you guys before why that is. What I've been working on lately, now that it's pretty much done, man, that freaking Camaro sounds good. You guys hear that? I gotta get over, if these people will let me. I've been working on something else here lately. I'm actually in the process of publishing a book. So for the past several weeks, I've been working on writing a book. And the book is about truck driving in general. And here's my take on it, okay? Or actually, basically, that's what the book is. It is my take on truck driving in general. Because the fact is, you know, next month, I will have been a truck driver for 8 years. And in that 8-year period of time, I've learned a whole lot. And I feel like I've learned some things that are considered valuable to the right people. So what I did is I took a step back and I asked myself, you know, if there's anything that the person that I am right now could do or say to advise or inform the person that I was 8 years ago before I became a truck driver, what information could I share to help myself? You guys get what I'm saying? Therefore, whatever information that is, and or whatever life lessons I've learned from this point all the way back to when I started truck driving, you know, all that information, all those lessons I learned, all the experience that I've gotten, how can I convey that into words to try to help other people who are interested in coming into the industry? Is there anything that I can give, any advice, any information, any anecdotes, anything like that I can give to anybody else that's interested in doing it beyond what a truck driving school or an entry-level company can give to that person to help them? And that's kind of how I approached writing this book. So guys, like in the last video that I made, I told you guys I was taking this very seriously. Like I was almost looking at it as a second job. I told you guys a couple months ago that I was in the process of working on a new YouTube channel. Well, I had to come up with content in order to do that, and that's basically what I've been working on for the past 2 months, because I figured I would write the book, get it published, and when I say get it published, I just basically mean maybe in the form of an ebook. I don't know if you guys are familiar with ebooks or what all that entails, but it's basically, it's an online digital book. It's going to be downloadable. Whenever I get it all put together, I'm thinking about creating my own website and doing a whole bunch of other stuff along with the new YouTube channel. But the material, the content that's in that book is the content that I'm going to use to make YouTube videos on this new YouTube channel. And like I said, I think a lot of the stuff that I put in the book could be considered as extremely valuable, because it kind of goes beyond what truck driving schools and entry-level truck driving companies are going to teach you. I purposely kind of went outside of their criteria of the material that they teach and tried to approach it from a different angle. And that particular angle that I'm talking about is like, well, when it comes to schools and companies, they're going to give you all the positive information, right? Because they're trying to sell you a ticket into the company. Anybody that goes to truck driving school to become a truck driver, they are basically forced at this point. Like, everybody's forced to go through FMCSA certified training in order to get a CDL. That's the new law that they established. So anybody that wants to be a truck driver in 2024, you're going to have to go through a program or a school in order to have access to even go and take the test to get your CDL. It didn't used to be like that, but it is now, because the FMCSA changed the laws. So coming from the perspective of a truck driving school, they're going to tell you all the positive stuff about the industry because they're trying to sell you a ticket into it. It costs a lot of money to go to truck driving school. And that's how they profit in their business, is by selling you a ticket into the industry. If I can elaborate in any kind of way to give you information about schools themselves and try to explain to you like what you can expect if you do go to a school, or you know what different methods there are to get that FMCSA certified training that I'm talking about that's required. Anything like that. As far as information that I can relay to you, that's what I put in this book. But I'm doing it from the perspective of a professional, somebody that does the job every day. And I'm also using my experience that I had going through school and everything else, because I didn't have to, but I chose to go to a truck driving school. It wasn't required at that point like it is now. But because I knew that it was going to be challenging, and I knew that there were going to be certain things that I was going to have to develop in order to even, you know, be able to go and take the test to get the CDL, I knew that I was going to require school. Okay, so that's the standpoint from a school that I'm talking about. But as far as the companies go, the entry-level truck driving companies that'll hire you fresh out of school, I also go over information about what they expect of you and how they're going to train you and different details like that. So I think it's the information that I put in this book, I think it's insightful, and I think it's plenty of detail to relay information to you as far as how to prepare and what to expect concerning your training. And I even went beyond the point that after you get hired by a company, like what your first year is going to be like, your first few weeks, your first few months in the truck by yourself, all the things that you're going to be up against, all these challenges. I go into very elaborate detail as far as explaining how all this is going to play out for you. And I tried to do it in a way, like I said, that you know, I'm giving you the absolute straight up truth about it. Because again, the schools and the companies are trying to sell you a ticket into it. I told you why the schools are selling you a ticket into it. It's because you're going to pay thousands of dollars to go to a school, ultimately. Or you're either going to do that, or you're going to use a different method to get that FMCSA certified training that I'm talking about. You might go to a trade school instead of a truck driving school. Well, what can you expect in the difference between a trade school and a truck driving school? Or you might get government assistance to get your CDL. Whatever you decide to do, you might get company sponsored training. I kind of break all that stuff down and I talk about it. Beyond that, the companies themselves that will hire drivers with no experience, the reason why they aren't going to be straight up with you, straightforward and honest, is because as soon as you get hired into the company, you're going to become what's known as an asset for them. And because there is such a high turnover rate in the truck driving industry, and so many new drivers won't even last beyond like 90 days, these companies are basing their training that they'll give you off of that foresight of turnover. So they're only going to invest so much into your training, because in reality, they don't know if you're going to last through it or not. They don't know. And it's really expensive to provide truck driving training. Got to think about all the expenses that come along with learning how to drive a truck. It's expensive. So I talk about all this stuff. I don't want to get into too much detail about it, but I'm just telling you kind of like what this book is about. Now, it's not completely ready yet, but I just wanted to give you a little bit more details about what I've been doing for the past couple of months now. I've literally been writing a book, and I just recently finished it. But I still have to, you know, I have to edit it, I have to proofread it, I have to do all these different things before I can actually publish it. I'm still in the middle of all this right now, but just know that it's gonna come in the not so distant future, because, you know, all the time that I spend outside of working, doing my regular job, I'm actually spending working on all this stuff that I just explained to you. And that's what I've been doing for the past couple of months now. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. Let me know if you're interested, and I'll let you know when the book is available if you are interested. Okay guys, so I just made it through both of Florida's DOT chicken coop places. They have a weigh station and an inspection station. So I just rolled through both of those, stopped at both of them. I'm gonna get out now. I'm at the Georgia Welcome Center in St. Mary's, and I'm gonna get out and check and just make sure that all of my straps are still good and secure. See how it's holding up. I've probably driven about, I don't know, 70, 80 miles. Well, it's holding up pretty good if you ask me. I don't notice any major shifting or anything else. All those straps are still just as tight as I made them when I left that place. Now the other thing I need to look for is a truck stop somewhere near this city. Okay, there looks to be a truck stop in Tenille. It's a Citgo Quick Mart. I'm looking at it on Google Earth. There's a big dirt parking lot over there. So if I can get over there to take my break, I'll be doing really good. That means first thing in the morning I'll be right there where the unload is. Well, we're about 90 miles away from this truck stop at this point. This is US 1 that we're about to turn onto right here and go north up toward I-16. This right here, I think this is called Baxley, Georgia. And you see what kind of place this is. I mean, you got you got farming equipment sitting at red lights around here, so that's pretty interesting, right? It's a farming community, yeah. Welcome to Baxley. Okay, this says we're 34 miles from Vidalia, Georgia. I have been there before. It's a lot like this place. But this is US 1 right here, which is a pretty important road. This is always the trailer that I'm complaining about in most of my videos. The main reason why I don't like it is because those winches are like the crappiest winches that we have on any of our trailers. And they're just, you know, you go to tighten or loose them up and you put tension on them with that cheater bar, and they kind of flex a little bit, which makes it harder to put tension on them. All that flexion, is that even a word, flexion? Check out the courthouse right here. And all that flexing that the winches do, it absorbs a lot of the pressure that you're putting on it, and therefore it makes it even harder to really get stuff tight. But then when you actually do get it tight, it makes it even harder to get it loose, because you got to put like twice as much pressure on the cheater bar. You put a lot of pressure into it, and it'll move the winch in before it actually starts moving that lock mechanism, you know, the cog on it, if that makes any sense. The second reason why I don't like it is because, well, as you guys saw earlier, I had to like beat that winch buckle through the rub rail because it's so like warped, the rub rail itself on this trailer. Anywho, just wanted to update you and let you know where I'm at. I'm getting there. 90 miles, we can do it. It says I'm gonna get there at 6, like 1800. All right, so we're now in that other city I was talking about, Vidalia. Got some very 1970s, early 1980s looking homes in this area. We're about to turn left and go west on US 280, which I have filmed parts of in previous videos. And all right, we have an important sign right here. I have to turn right instead of turning left. But the sign, it says no through trucks, because this is one way right here. That's going east, and then the west side is on the other side of this block right here. Normally you just go straight through to get over to the side that goes west, but because I'm in a truck, it says no through trucks, and there's a sign that says to west 280, take a right turn. So that's what I'm gonna do. See, these are important details. This is why it's important to pay attention to signs, people. We're gonna see what road I am allowed to get on to get over there, because it did, I don't know if it's going to specify that much for me, but it does say, okay, looks like maybe up here. Yep, here it is. There's a big old U-turn curve up here to get to it. So that's interesting. It's a little small, fine detail. It's stuff like that you got to watch out for when you're using Google Maps to navigate. See, if I had gone straight through across that block back there, I could have got a ticket for that. So we're going to take this U-turn, specially designed for trucks. Don't like how I'm having to yield right here. That's not designed for trucks because it's on my blind side. Okay. And now we'll just head west now that we're on 280 until we get to, ultimately we're going to get back on Georgia Highway 15. I didn't realize the city of Vidalia was this big. It's actually a pretty decent sized city. Not huge, but to be out here in the middle of nowhere, it's a pretty big city. But yeah, that's Vidalia. Gonna drive another 2.5 miles west on 280, and then we're gonna turn right, go north on Georgia 15 once again. Got a 4-way stop. Now 280, if we just kept going west on 280, eventually we'd come up on US 441, I'm sure. Headed over there toward Douglas, which is a city I've shown you guys a couple times. We're not going to go that far west though. Even now that we're going north, we're going to be, you know, running kind of parallel with that highway. US 441 will be parallel with it, but we're going to be further east. To explain it, I mean, you know how, you might know how 441, it goes all the way up through the state of Georgia. We're going to be on the east side of it, but still probably not that far, because like I was saying before, this city, it's east of Milledgeville, and 441 goes right through Milledgeville. So I don't really know where I'm going after this, but if it's interesting, you know, I might try to film it. Be coming up into another town that I don't think I've ever been into, or actually been through before, and I'm not even sure what the name of the town is, but I think we might be coming up on a square, just like every other town that you drive up into. You got the speed zone ahead or reduced speed ahead, either one, to let you know, hey, you're coming into this town, you might want to slow down. Soperton, okay. I think maybe I have been in this town before. All right, we ought to get a sign up here saying Georgia 15 goes to the right. Yeah, here's our sign. It's like we could keep going that way and we would stay on another highway, but 15 goes this way. And then it turns to the left right here. So it's not a square, but there might be a square somewhere around here. This is US 221 right here. All right. And it looks like our truck stop is going to be on the right in about 44 miles. So we got to cross over I-16 and all that other stuff. But it's on this highway, Georgia 15. We're not that far away from Interstate 16. We're going to cross right over it. Another town we're coming through now. North of I-16. Definitely haven't ever been to this town. Didn't see any signs telling me what town it is. US 80 crosses over up here at the next intersection, apparently. See that this is Johnson County, but I don't see. Okay, Adrian. I see the post office right there. It says Adrian, Georgia. Just a tiny little crossroad town. Glad I'm not going that way on US 80. It said bridge out. Okay, and then there's one more that we will possibly be going through on our way to Nil called Wrightsville, but it's a good way away from here. So if we go through that one, I'll get it too. All right, Wrightsville, we're here. Let's see what this place is all about. It's bigger than the last place we drove through. Their lower speed limit sign is covered up. You can barely see it. Is that intentional? Is that a conspiracy? Oh, there used to be railroad tracks right there, but they're gone. Got some old industry in this town. There's a water tower over there. Old buildings. A mural right there. Okay, I'm finally seeing a sign for To Nil. Yeah, this is their square. not too shabby. Now, I'm thinking that this To place that we're going to, it's going to be a pretty small town. Maybe just some crossroads coming together, because there aren't any like regular road signs for it. There was one back there, but it was like on a list of a bunch of other towns. The next town that actually has signs coming up for it is called Sandersville, but we're not going to get that far. At least not tonight. Oh, look at those old shacks right there. Okay, so in case you're wondering why I'm always filming all these small towns all the time as I drive through them, short answer is I'm just fascinated with them, because some of them remind me of the cities that I grew up in, like 30 years ago, you know, where, you know, the cities that I grew up in 30 years ago, now they're completely different. They're just packed full of people. So ultimately, things have changed a lot in those areas, and they're not as desirable, especially to me. So whenever I come across places like this, where, you know, it doesn't take an hour to get 5 miles down the road, I'm fascinated with these kinds of places. So I like to film them because of that. That's one reason. Another reason is just for the sake of documenting, you know, saying, hey, look at this town. I came through here, check it out. I mean, most people probably have never heard of these places, or will never go to these places. So if I can show them to you on video, then yeah, I mean, it's just another thing for you to check out. Coming into a new county, once again, Washington County. And this place is 11 miles away, up here on the right. I've seen a lot of cornfields out here, and some turnip fields, turnip crops. As I was further south, upon getting off the interstate down there off of 95, when I crossed over the Florida-Georgia state line and got on those back roads about 100 miles south of here, I saw a lot of tobacco fields. You can tell that they're tobacco plants because they have those huge leaves on them. Okay, we're almost there. I'm about to pull into the place. So what was the point of this video? Well, first of all, I wanted to show you how somebody that knows absolutely nothing about securing reels to a flatbed can potentially do it with some effort being put into what they're doing, and without passing out, because it's, you know, when it's like over 100 degrees outside, having to do some pretty strenuous labor. Okay, then next I had a theory about how I was going to get to the actual city where the load's getting delivered. That worked out. So the load securement worked out, my route worked out. Now we're going to see if this theory I had about this gas station, quote-unquote truck stop, will work out as far as having a place to park. So we're almost here. I can actually see the sign for it up here. It's on the other side of this traffic light. Okay, I see a truck pulling out of it, so that's a good sign. Hopefully they're not pulling out of it because there's no parking, though. That wouldn't be a good sign. But from the look of it, it looked fine. Yeah, there's quite a bit of trucks here, actually. Didn't expect to see so many. But it looks like there's plenty of room from what I can see. Now I just got to make sure that I pull in the right way. I don't know if okay, this looks good. Cool. In fact, I might just back it in right there. If I can back up. This might just be, I mean, it might be affiliated with the gas station, but it might be just a public parking lot for trucks. I don't know, maybe all these trucks sitting here, the people that live in this city, maybe there's just a lot of truck drivers that live here. But I'm gonna put it right there in that spot over there. I'll back up. I should be able to do that. There's another space right there. Hell, if I can get into that one, that might be even better. Try to put it right here in this one. I'd be careful because there's cars like right in the damn way. There we go. All right. I would say that worked out pretty good. Come back just a little bit more. A lot of logger trucks and container trucks. We're not that far from Savannah, maybe, I don't know, 70 miles from Savannah. I'm about to see how far away I am from the place I gotta deliver. Can't be too far from it. 1.5 miles away. Nice. Cool. All right. All right, guys, we are actually headed back over to Scott's, ironically enough. I was called by our other driver last night and told that we officially are done with Scott's. I don't know if he knows what he's talking about or not, or you know how true that statement is, but apparently there's 2 loads left over there that need to be delivered, and they're sending me over there now to pick up one of them. I finished my delivery that I was hauling earlier in the video. I finished it just now, and don't worry, you guys didn't miss anything. I will say I'm kind of glad to be getting out of that area. Washington County, Georgia, experience there wasn't great. And I'm not saying that this statement applies for everyone that resides in that area, but I just found that people in that area seem to be rather unfriendly. I think they're just, it's not really their fault. They're just dealing with a bad case of small town syndrome, if that's what you want to call it. But yeah, they don't they don't take so kindly to strangers in that area, even at the truck stop. So I'm glad to be getting out of there. Now, the reason why I'm continuing to film is because of the route that I'm going to be taking to get over to Scotts, which Scotts is in Jackson / Locust Grove, that area. And as I told you earlier in this video, I'm east of Milledgeville, so that means I'm going to have to go west, meaning that I'm going to be going straight through Milledgeville to get there. And it looks like to me we'll be going straight through town, which is something that I promised you guys I would be doing eventually and filming it for you. So I'm going to do that now. But yeah, sit tight and I'll show you Milledgeville real quick. Okay, so we're going west, as I said, on 540, which is a state highway, believe it or not. This road is actually a big deal. I've talked about it several times, and how it didn't used to be one whole system going from Columbus, Georgia, all the way over to Augusta. And they completed it, I think, in 2018. But it was a mixture of a whole bunch of different roads that they kind of connected together. And when they finished connecting all those roads together, they named it Georgia Highway 540. Well, I've been doing a lot of research on roads, road infrastructure, road hierarchy, like the tier system of roads listed in reference to their importance. Like an interstate would be the highest tier of a road, right? And it would be, therefore, it would be the most important road, all the way down to what I would consider as like a sub-county road. And then like everything in between. I've been doing research on this because I've been writing about it. And I learned some new things. One of the things that I learned is that US routes are not maintained by the federal government. Whatever state the US route is in, or I should put it this way, whatever state that portion of a US route is in, is maintained by that state. So along with the state's job to upkeep and maintain all of their highways, they're also paying for the maintenance on the US routes. And that's something that I never realized that, you know. I didn't know about that. I thought that because it was a US road, that meant that it was paid for and maintained by the federal government, but it doesn't. It actually means that the government initially paid for the road to, you know, install it, build it initially. But ever since all these US routes were built, President Roosevelt is the one that initially started the campaign to build all the US routes. And then later, like toward the 1950s, that's when Eisenhower said that the US routes weren't good enough, and that's when the proposition to make interstates came into play. But yeah, like it's interesting to know that these US routes are maintained by the states. And another thing I didn't realize is that a lot of the maintenance that goes on these state highways and US routes, the Department of Transportation will place jobs for contractors to bid on. And like the contractors, they're private, but they work on the roads, right? And whoever puts the best bid in will get the contract to work on whichever road in whichever area. You get what I'm saying? And I never realized that that was the case either. I just thought that the Department of Transportation had their own crews that they paid. But according to the research that I've done, that's actually not the case. So I just thought those things were interesting to talk about as we make our way over to Milledgeville. We just merged off of 540 and we're still on 24, so the two roads separated back there at that intersection where I turned right. And in about 2.5 miles, we're going to be making a left turn, and then we're going to go straight through Milledgeville. We're going to come out on the other side and cross over US 441, and then we're going to be making a right turn onto Georgia Highway 212 and going up toward Monticello. Okay, we're making that left turn. See, Sparta's over that way. I showed you guys Sparta. If you guys remember the particular video that I made last December called "Not All Those Who Wander Are Lost," we took this road over here out of Sparta, but I turned off onto another state highway because I wanted to show you guys Central State Hospital. Well, this time we're gonna stay on this road and go straight through Milledgeville. And I'll just leave you guys with Milledgeville. In fact, I think in that video I was just talking about, I distinctly told you guys, I don't know when I'll be coming through here again. Therefore, I want to film this stuff. Well, it's been 6 months since I've been through here, so to give you an idea. We're getting up in here now, and it looks like I might be forced to take a right turn right here. Because the two particular highways are going this way, but they kind of go around the block and then they come back heading in the same direction. So I'm going to be turning left up here at this next intersection, and it's kind of just redirecting me, but I want to do that. Ultimately, that's what I want to do. So we might not get to see the main strip of Milledgeville, but we are going to drive through it. In fact, that's what we're doing right now. Now, the original capital of Georgia is back there where we just were. So unfortunately, we're not going to get to see that building, but we're going to come straight through on this portion of road right here, and then we're going to cross over 441. It's kind of just the direction that the highway goes in, so we kind of went this way, then we made a right turn and a left turn, and we're still going straight across the town. confusing, but yeah, you know, it's pretty much the best way I can describe it or explain it to you right now. This is a very, very old city. You got to think of it in this kind of way. Like, think about how big and important Atlanta is today. Okay? And that's where the capital of Georgia is now. Well, back in the 1800s, this would have been considered as Atlanta. You know, the way that we consider Atlanta today, this is the way people considered this city back in the 1800s, because, you know, Atlanta didn't even technically exist until a much later date after this city existed. And Atlanta used to be called Marthasville. They didn't rename it until, you know, just prior to the Civil War, as far as I know. There's a lot of government and municipal buildings on the block that we would have taken if we didn't have to stay on the truck route. And it's literally just like one block over from here. So it kind of sucks that we weren't able to see like the main portion of the city, but yeah. You know, that right turn that we're gonna take to get onto 212, it's coming up in about 1.5 miles. And granted, guys, I would have been able to go the main way through, and I have before. I've actually gotten video of me driving through the main section of road that goes through Milledgeville back there, but it was in the middle of the night. I wouldn't really want to take the risk of doing it during the day, just in case, you know, they had something to say to me about it, like, are you making a local delivery? Why the hell are you on this road? You saw the sign that said truck route, turn right. You know what I'm saying? So I did it in the middle of the night. If you want to watch the footage from that video, let me know and I'll post it to the channel if you really want to see the city that bad. But okay, now we're about to cross over 441. Right here. And 212 is next intersection up. All right. So yeah, guys, I'll leave you with that. Thanks for watching my video. Get ready for more interesting things to come as I am making my way back. I'm transitioning back into driving regionally once again, now that our Scott's contract is up. I'll be going out each week, headed to different areas, different states, picking up different things. Some of those things might be quite interesting. So stay tuned for all that stuff, and I'll see you next time. All right, later.